Welcome to the West Virginia Soccer Association Beyond the Pitch podcast on the WVSA Digital Network. From the Dick's Sporting Goods Studios in Charleston, West Virginia, here's your host, Marcus Cole.
Welcome to the podcast. We're excited for another great episode. Back on the program, our favorite registered dietitian, Stephanie Militano of SM Nutrition. Stephanie, welcome back to the program.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. It's always a good chat.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and jump right into things. Stephanie, it's the holiday season and we're getting ready to feast like crazy for the next month or so. One thing I love about you is that you're a registered dietitian that does not come out and say, no, you can't eat this, you can't eat that, which is such a practical application because, you know, the more you tell me not to do something, the more I want to go do it. So can you kind of give us just a general mindset of what we should be thinking about during the holiday season as a youth soccer player and all the eating that goes on?
Yeah, the holidays can be a really fun time. They can also be stressful because if you have to travel or visit family or out of your own routine, a little bit of a chaotic schedule, we'll say, it could be a real challenge to just eat enough fuel, especially if you're in the car, traveling around, driving around. If you're flying, it's even harder. But I think the one thing that every athlete can focus on is just giving their body consistent fuel every day. So regardless if they're training or not, regardless if it's a big holiday meal day, you still need breakfast, you still need lunch, and you still need, that big fueling dinner. And there's a lot of different ways to really break that down and look at that. But thinking about just giving your body that consistent fuel all day is kind of that number one rule and things that I've been working on with my own clients to really help them figure out, okay, maybe it's a holiday brunch, and then we're kind of snacking our way through the day in the middle of the day, and then we have a dinner and then a snack before bed. Regardless of that meal pattern, you're being consistent.
And, you bring up such a great point because I think that's a big question that a lot of athletes have. It's like, I've got the next couple of weeks off. I'm not training. I'm not doing a whole lot. Should I be eating the same? I probably should be skipping meals because I'm not burning that fuel like I am during the season. But I think that's a great point, is that consistency is important.
Yeah, they still need a lot of fuel. We think about they're fueling themselves as a human. They're still growing, developing, building muscle. Plus, as an athlete, they want to maintain the muscle they've worked really hard to build and energize. So we still need a lot of fuel. We don't want to skip meals, and we definitely don't want to skip snacks because there's truly nothing worse than a hungry athlete.
Absolutely. If you've seen a Snickers commercial, you can certainly.
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
Yeah, exactly. I love it. Can you give us like maybe some 3 tips or 3 things that our athletes should keep in mind during the season when they are eating holiday meals or treats or anything along that lines?
Yeah, so I think just enjoy your favorite foods. Give yourself full permission. Here's your permission slip. I'm signing it right now to enjoy those foods. If you tell yourself like I can't eat this, or it's not okay to eat that, or this is bad, this doesn't have this in it. We have to get out of that restrictive mindset. As an athlete, you really need that fuel. This is a deep conversation I've had with a lot of athletes because there is concern about like how much sugar am I eating or fat. Your body really needs the fuel, and these couple of days of eating are not going to set you back in your performance or how you're doing. In fact, they may really help with energizing and super saturating your body with great fuel. So that's definitely that number one tip would be enjoy those favorite foods.
It's parents can play such an important part in the fueling habits of their players, their children. What are some tips that you would give to parents in helping them navigate the foods during this holiday season?
I'm glad you brought this up. I think a big mistake I see, parents, families making, which they don't really realize unless it's just off the cuff, is kind of projecting some of that diet culture around athletes or younger siblings where, this food is bad, or I can't have this, or on Monday I'm starting over, we're going to get our diet together, that sort of thing. Like those words kind of trickling down to younger athletes, middle school, high school, even college level athletes can really impact their choices and what they're doing, maybe have them set their own kind of negative food rules, things we want to break, and really increase their risk for disordered eating and eating disorders and that restriction overall, which we don't want for athletes. So as parents, I say be open, be supportive. If there are family members commenting on how much your athlete eats, Just cut them off and say, yeah, they need a lot of fuel. They've been training really hard this year. That's it. There's no need for discussion, no need to comment on body type or anything like that. I think being an athlete, we often think we have to fit into a box. You do not. You need to fuel your body in a way that really works for you, that's not restrictive. And that starts with the parents. One, just embracing all foods, and two, kind of turning off that diet culture.
Absolutely. Support your athletes. We're
Yeah.
talking with Stephanie Militano, owner of SM Nutrition. Okay, say I'm a youth soccer player and I've been enjoying holiday food. I've been enjoying grandma's fudge. She only makes it once a year. I've been enjoying this, I've been enjoying that. And I'm starting to feel a little bit of the negative effect. Maybe I've overdone it a little bit here and there. What are some things that they can do to kind of get themselves back on track where they themselves just feel a little bit better in regards to their eating habits and their overall body health?
Yeah, it kind of goes back to that first tip I shared. It's just being consistent with your body. You don't have to compensate for overeating, or really it's undercompensate or restrict, right? Just because you overate for a few days doesn't mean you have to restrict and cut foods out the next few days, or overtrain or overexercise, because that honestly increases your risk for injuries, overtraining syndrome, that sort of stuff. We don't want that. We really want your body fueled and strong. So use those few days, use grandma's fudge, right, as that fuel to kind of help you get through. So one, be consistent, start that next day with a really good breakfast. Fill up your water bottle, keep it close, stay hydrated. That's going to be a big part about waking those muscles up and getting back into training, is making sure you're hydrated, making sure you're fueled. And that all starts with coming back to my favorite consistency word. Just doing that all day. You're having breakfast, you're closing that fueling gap with snacks, meaning if you're going too long between meals, so maybe you have breakfast before school, which is at 6 or 7 a.m., but lunch isn't until 1:30. You've got to slide a snack in there in the middle to make sure that we're fueled and energized.
Yep, consistency definitely is the key. Obviously, SM Nutrition has been helping athletes out now for years. We've known Stephanie for, it seems like, forever. And talk to us a little bit about some of the offerings that you have, like the Academy, and how people can take advantage. And do you have any holiday specials that you're running?
Yeah, so the Academy is a really fantastic place to start. It is my online course, or really your nutrition hub for all things sports and performance. So you can find fueling guides, there's meal plans I put in there every month. So you get new meal plans, you have new recipes. There's lots of videos, 30 plus videos, to really help you walking through that foundational fueling plan to help you as the athlete, or you as the parent, fuel your athlete in a positive way, and kind of breaks it down. How much protein do I need? How much carbs do I need? Or if you just want to know, what should I have for a pre-workout snack? You can pop in there, download the handout, and you have everything at your fingertips. So if you're truly looking for a great place to start to build your fueling plan, the Academy is really a good place right there.
And they also have access to you too as well through different programs, right?
Yes. So the Academy would be my online course, and I host monthly calls through there. So athletes have the opportunity to hop on and ask me questions every month. But if you wanted more support, I do also offer one-on-one sessions through my Elite Fuel program, where athletes can kind of just book a more intensive session with me, where we're really creating that personalized schedule, working through challenges, and really helping you build your confidence in nutrition and your performance goals.
If you've been following our podcast or any of our social media channels, you know how well we love Stephanie and all the advice that she gives and the tips that she gives through her social media channels. If you want to get to know Stephanie a little bit better and exactly what she offers, where can they find you on social media platforms?
Yeah, so I am most active on Instagram. So it's highschool.athlete.nutrition. You can also find me on TikTok, hs.athlete.nutrition. But everything you need to know is on my website at www.smnutritionrd.com.
Absolutely. We'll make sure to link that in our show notes, and you can go ahead and check out everything that Stephanie has to offer this holiday season to help you and your athlete perform better. Because honestly, if you're not properly fueled, your body's not going to work the way that it could work. It's like not putting gas in a car. So real simple. Stephanie Militano, owner of SM Nutrition, thank you so much for coming back onto the podcast. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's always so fun to be here, and it's great chatting with you and kind of sharing advice with all the athletes.
Thank you for listening to the West Virginia Soccer Association Beyond the Pitch podcast. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share our program. Copyright 2023. All rights reserved.